What's going on, guys? It's Clutch Plays here, and today we are going to be discussing the 5 biggest problems that the New York Knicks will have this season and what some of the possible solutions are. This preseason, we have seen firsthand what some of the issues with this team are and how it has ultimately affected certain games. If the Knicks are able to touch up on at least 2 to 3 of these things throughout the season, they will be so much more successful. Now, these issues are not so much correlated to the rest of the NBA and where they stand. Rather, these problems focus on the Knicks organization and roster from the inside. In the past, I've always made positive videos on the Knicks, but I want to keep this channel as real as possible. So with this, I feel the need to bring up some of the things that could be the Knicks' kryptonite heading into the season. Some of the problems are much more significant than others, so make sure you take that into account throughout the video. Before I get into this though, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited and have something pretty big coming up, so stay tuned for that. Now with that said, let's get right into it. Number 1, rotations. This season, the Knicks have so much depth at the guard and forward positions, so it's going to be interesting to see what the rotations will be like. The reason that rotations are going to be a huge issue is because in Fizdale's entire coaching career, he has never been good with his rotation and distribution of minutes. Even dating back to his time with the Grizzlies, he didn't deserve to be fired, but he ultimately was fired because of his relationship with Marc Gasol. There's absolutely no tension to this day between the two, but Marc was not happy with playing less minutes and the overall culture change that the Grizzlies wanted Fizdale to implement. Last year with the Knicks, he did struggle with rotations and would play players like Kadeem Allen over Frank and Alonzo Trier, while starting and playing Lance Thomas way too much. I don't know for certain what's going to happen with Trier this season and if he's even going to play, but if Wayne Ellington's playing over Trier like he is in the preseason, that is going to be a major issue going forward. To fix this, Fizdale will need to have a set plan for rotations and understand when to play certain players throughout the game. For example, against the Wizards, when the Wizards went on a 50-17 run, there is absolutely no reason why Trier should have been on the bench, especially since the Knicks were struggling to score. Worst case scenario, Fizdale needs to have one of the coaches to specialize in the Knicks rotation to give him advice on what to do throughout the game. If Fizdale can fix some of these small rotation issues with the Knicks, they should be able to win a lot more games throughout the season. Number 2, hero ball. This was extremely evident last night against the Hawks, and it was absolutely horrific watching. From watching the game last night in the final 4 minutes or so, it seemed that everyone wanted to make the shot that would make the crowd go crazy. It started with a Frank Ntilikina heat check 3-point shot, which I wasn't too upset about, but then it continued with Bobby Portis shooting bad 3-point shots that were pretty contested. Wayne Ellington shot a super contested 3-point shot at the end of the game when he could have had the option to pass out, and Marcus Morris decided to try and create his shot way too much at the end of the game. Julius Randle was also playing a lot of isolation too, but the difference was Julius was actually getting good shots and it was working. And his game is built on a lot of isolation, so it's not like all of a sudden he's like, I need to be the hero. The Knicks don't have a set offense that they run and play more of a freelance, simple offensive game, and they played hero ball at the end instead. This was kind of sad to see because a lot of the players say that winning's the most important thing to them, but in this situation, it probably wasn't. But then again, it's a meaningless preseason game, so hopefully they learn their lesson here. One of the possible solutions to this is having RJ or someone other than Frank run the offense at the end of the game to make sure the offense flows. However, this could be the wake-up call that the Knicks needed to stop the hero ball at the end of the game, so maybe the solution is not even necessary anymore. Number 3, defensive effort. The Knicks' defensive effort fluctuates way too much. Against the Wizards, the Knicks didn't get the 3-point shot and seemed not to care when the Wizards would make 3-point shot after 3-point shot. This continued for portions of the game versus the Hawks, but it really wasn't a huge issue at all. This problem has been known with the Knicks with all their young players, and with young players comes a lot of inconsistency, as well as having Julius Randle and Bobby Portis, who have been known for getting lazy on the defensive side of the ball at times. The two of them can be great defenders and have all the physical and athletic tools that they need to do so, but their head is not there entirely yet. We saw their potential at the end of the game versus the Hawks, where the Hawks could not get a single good shot off versus the Knicks for a good minute or two down the stretch, and with great defenders like Frank and Mitch, as well as defensive veterans such as Marcus Morris and Taj Gibson, I genuinely believe that the Knicks will be able to get the defensive potential out of Julius Randle, Bobby Portis, Kevin Knox, and maybe even Dennis Smith Jr. All in all, the Knicks know that this is an issue for them, and it's just a matter of time until they are are able to pull everything together. The Knicks should be an above average defensive team this season, and as long as we make sure that we can keep up the intensity on the defensive side of the ball, we should be good. Number 4, play calling. This is another issue that should be pitted mostly on David Fizdale's shoulders. Last season, coming into timeouts, Fizdale was great at getting the Knicks back on track, but he severely struggled at drawing up plays at the end of games. In the third game of the season last year, David Fizdale drew up an absolutely disgusting play, but Trey Burke somehow got fouled on a 3-point shot, but he missed 2 of the free throws, so they ended up losing. Fizdale took the blame though and said that it was on him, that's why they lost. So the positive coming out of it is Fizdale knows that he's not good at drawing up plays and needs to get better, so he has been researching and doing his due diligence in this matter. However, that was not apparent last night when the Knicks needed a 3, and the play Fizz drew up got Wayne Ellington a heavily contested shot. 1, Wayne Ellington should have never shot it, and 2, there seemed to be a lot of confusion between Julius Randle and Bobby Portis on what to do, as well as Frank, who almost got called for a 5-second violation. I'm not putting the blame on Fizdale for all these plays just yet, since that was the case with all the players, but overall Fizdale needs to improve on this or get some help calling certain plays in these types of situations. I do hear people getting upset about Fizz and believe that he is not the one, but y'all gotta relax and understand that the Knicks can't be circling through coaches every 2 seasons. If they want to build a winning culture that Fizdale is trying to implement right now and is doing a pretty good job of it, they need him there at minimum until the end of his contract. He has way too many positive attributes and is building the Knicks culture, while the negative attributes are fixable, so don't give up on him just yet. Number 5, the point guard position. The final issue with the Knicks can be looked at as a positive or a negative, but right now it seems like a negative. Last night, Dennis Smith Jr. got his first action, but seemed winded and his shot was extremely off. He just came off of a back injury, so don't get too worried about his play just yet. Throughout the preseason, Elfrid has looked absolutely terrible, and he deserves to be benched like he was last night. Fizz still seems to like him a lot, which is kind of upsetting since more minutes for Elfrid will mean less minutes for Frank and Dennis Smith Jr. Frank and DSJ are the future, and we need to develop them, yet Elfrid, who is not much better than them, and may even be worse, looks to be in the lead for the starting point guard position. This position as of last night seems scary since Frank still has trouble shooting, but he's a god defender, and DSJ played pretty poorly. Hopefully DSJ can come back right to where he was last season with the Knicks and just take away all of Elfrid's minutes. The solution to this problem is either have Elfrid improve his play significantly or have him benched if he keeps up his same performances. If they are all on the same level, there is no reason Elfrid should be playing over Frank and DSJ as well. Wow, that was ruthless. Now that all of these problems have been said, what do you guys think about them? Are they reasonable, and if so, how much do you think they will affect the Knicks in the future, and how much will it affect the Knicks' playoff chances? Also, I did want to say again, be patient with Fizz. He is creating a great culture and everything should begin to come together in the near future. Thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. I cannot even believe I hit this milestone. It's still like surreal for me. And I know that may sound weird to most people, but it does. And now I'm out, and peace!